true. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces.
There we go.
Passing by, see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Boy, Angela loved this one.
You're gonna knock your knees in and out, just like my cousin up here. So knock those knees in and out, gentlemen. There we go. Just like that. So you follow his motions up here. Everybody else sitting down, clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap.
Saipan, they need your help. Somebody scream and say ooh ooh ah ah. Yes, we don't have monkeys, so we train the men. We're gonna have him jump to the next tree. Everybody say also.
Alright, family, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, come on, are you ready?
Yes.
Everyone say jump! Jump! Are you crazy?
Chicken. I am so sorry. These are the only 2 left. Last week was windy. We lost all 9 of them, and they all rest in pieces. How about a big hand for our tree climbers? Please go.
What are you fixing to do?
Gonna get in the ocean in Hawaii.
For the first time?
Well,
Uh-oh. This your first time ever?
yes. Many
Man.
times I've been here, but I've never stepped my foot in the ocean
Wow.
here in Hawaii.
Wow, this is going to be the first. All right, 7 o'clock in the morning. She's starting the morning off like this. You going out there to make sure she doesn't get too far out?
Something like that.
I hear you. Here they go. It's cold, she said. Got this seawall out here that keeps this area a little smoother. Oh, here's a rainbow. Here's a rainbow. Look at that. Oh, she did it. Oh, me. Almost 82 years young. Oh, look at her. Damn. I'm videoing. Say it was cold?
So cold. It's not as cold now.
Are you glad you did it?
Very salty, yes.
Are you glad?
It's exhilarating. You need to do it.
Okay, I'll take y'all's word for it.
Come on, you can't leave Hawaii without chicken.
I'll get it in Guam.
How can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels could not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. To
it's hard to believe we were here. My wife and I came on our own with no idea really exactly how big this had gotten. We were here June of 24, and I didn't even know they were having a 50th anniversary, or I probably wouldn't have came then and would have waited came this time. But I'm so glad I got to do it twice. So some things is really great when you get to do it twice. So some of you may have heard this testimonial. I've added a few things to it. Hopefully I won't go past my time. But the first thing I want to say is thank you to each of you who have already made us feel very special. We stepped off the plane even prior to being here, and the last time we came, Brother Jared was here last time. Brother Jerry was gone. I don't know if somebody warned him about me, and he said, I'm not going to leave you. What happened, but it was great to get to meet him this time. And Pam wasn't here last time, but she really helped us so much. And I tell you, you have great people on staff. I don't know every one of them, but I can tell you from my experience with being around churches, staffs, and things of that nature, kind of knowing the inside of being a preacher's kid, missionary's kid, y'all have got a jewel in Pam. Unbelievable. What more can I say? She paid me a little to say that, but that's cool. Y'all figured it out. I got a sense of humor. I'm sorry. Wanted to read you a verse that's kind of the way to start this is Proverbs 29:18. It says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." I can only imagine how many people would have possibly perished had God not put the vision He put in my father's heart. And in 1973 to 74, Bruce made his first trip over here to Guam. And I remember being a kid and thinking, he's going to Guam. It's an island. I wonder if it's like got 80 people running around. Are they like carrying spears? I mean, you kid, you have a wild imagination. You didn't know. Little did I know they had McDonald's and all that stuff here. The world's largest, by the way, back then. Now there's 3 or more here. It's unreal. But I was told as a kid, and I believe the information to be true. The reason that my father was given this place to come to was a couple of things. Number one, it was English speaking. And my father was a farmer from Kentucky. Educated, but a hillbilly. So learning, he said, I have enough trouble with the English language, and trying to learn another language would be very difficult. So English speaking, that's good. And then he was told that the island was 99% Catholic. And I believe at the time there was only one that wasn't Catholic church here. And that would have been the Episcopalian Church. And now I'm told, I think Brother Gary said he had somebody studying, there's over 75 churches here that are not Catholic. It's amazing how much it has grown. But my father came back and shared some stuff with us and everything. And so, we had to figure out, I say we, our family, had to figure out how to get here. So it was a little different than some of the things that you might not think about. We had to do this thing called deputation. You're like, what is deputation? Maybe you've never heard of that word. You've heard what a missionary is, but what is deputation? That's where you go around and you have to raise your own money. We did not have a church or some individual who had a bunch of money and said, I believe in your cause, here's some money, go to Guam. We had to raise it all. So back then, I don't know how many of you grew up in Baptist churches from way back in the 70s, and some of them you still go into the same way. Ever see the bulletin board of the map of the world and the little red string with the prayer card that attaches the missionary's name? We went to a lot of churches like that. What we were hoping for is that they would put a little red string with our prayer card there. That meant that they supported that missionary. So some churches, $25, $35, $75. You might get $100. Once in a while, you might get a little more than that. So you can imagine how many churches you needed to support you to get here and support you monthly to sustain your ability to not just live as a family, but to be able to purchase things and start the church. So what did that mean for me? That meant we followed my father around, and he preached over 300 nights out of the year. And if we weren't in school, we were expected to be there. It was not a choice. I remember one time we were in over in Indiana, my cousin was there. My father said, do you want to stay with your cousin or do you want to go to church tonight? Now, I've been in church so many nights and I didn't know what day it was half the time. I said, I'm going to stay with my cousin. He said, you sure? I said, absolutely. And but he preached the same sermons over and over again. He had 4 or 5 and he preached them. Now, back then, there was not online services where someone would hear it. So unless somebody happened to get a cassette tape, so we don't even know what that is, a cassette tape, you wouldn't have heard this sermon. But I'd heard it. I'd heard it so many times, and we always, as preachers' kids and missionaries' kids, we had to sit right down here in the front of the second row. Don't fall asleep, even though you've been traveling a long time. Don't you nod off, because that might see that and say, we're not scored down. So you had to act straight. You had to laugh at every joke that you'd heard hundreds of times. And I remember as a 10-year-old, remember I didn't come here until I was 11, I remember as a 10-year-old, I looked my father in the eye, and just as serious as I could be, I said, if you get sick, I can preach those sermons. I know work. So we raised support, and God allowed us to come home. And in May of 1975, my parents, my 2 sisters, and myself landed here. I still to this day remember coming off the airplane. You didn't have the little deal come up and you walk out. You walked down a ladder. Basically, a ladder stairs came to the plane. And when they opened that door, the Guam humidity hit you in the face for the first time. And so we weren't prepared for that. I don't think there's any way to be prepared for that. But we had been, prior to that, we had got to go to Hawaii for about 5 days. And we stayed with some missionaries in Hawaii. And I thought, wow, imagine the luck of getting a call to be a missionary in Hawaii. This is amazing. I had not seen Guam. This is my first time to see palm trees, blue oceans. And I thought, wow, these people are really lucky. I had no idea how beautiful Guam was. And we were here that first Sunday. We had church, because there was not going to be a Sunday we were not going to have church. And so the very first Sunday, my father had gotten some contacts here, a few different people. And one of the contacts that he had made somehow was with a professor from the University of Guam who was going back to the States for the summer. And he allowed us to rent his house for the summer. And so the house had a lanai. Now, you hear my accent. I live in Mississippi. We're in the South, and some people really twang it up down there. How you doing? That type of thing, okay? So we don't call stuff a lanai. I had to look this back up. In Mississippi, it's a porch. Here, it's a lanai. So anyhow, we started the first church service where Harvest began was on a lanai. It was probably 10 or 15 feet wide and maybe 15 to 20 feet long and covered. Thank goodness for that. But my father said, let's set up chairs, and he had a little music stand, and that was the pulpit. And he preached to 15 people, or he was one of the 15. There was 5 of our family, so 10 of the people approximately. That was the start of Harvest. And then it wasn't too long after that, I don't remember the exact date, but he found this building. And we're like, oh, Lord, what did he find here? It was the old building that was over here that I guess was destroyed several years back. But if you go look back at back pictures, you'll see that it was that beautiful Congo brown. And some of you may be wondering, why in the world was that Congo brown? Well, I can tell you why. My father would buy igloos from Eskimos at an auction if it was a deal and bring them to Guam. That's how it was too cheap. He has to get it. And that stayed with him till the day he died. But he found a deal on Congo brown paint from the Department of Defense, and he bought all these 5-gallon buckets, and he was determined, and he painted that building brown. I still remember we all got out there and rolled what we could. And then he took the gold paint and put Harvest Baptist Church on it. But that building was a rundown old printing place, had water in the basement, trash everywhere. We worked on it, and everybody jumped in together. And it was amazing that Harvest Baptist Church was able to start there, but also that the school was able to start, and we didn't delay it. So we got here the end of May, and school opened probably around the first week after Labor Day. So that's pretty unique when you think about that. Now, we didn't have the whole building ready. We had to start upstairs out of the water and all that mess. We started up there, and then it just kept growing. And matter of fact, when we came here, another thing about missionaries, when you come, you don't get to load up all the big moving trucks and they're going to bring it all to you. Everything had to be concise down, and we were going to bring into storage container or shipping container. Now, it wasn't one of those metal shipping containers that's 40 feet long. What we had was about 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall, maybe 8 feet long. Once that was unloaded, it was not thrown away. It was actually used, they lined it, and it was used as the first baptistry here. It didn't last real long, because you can imagine water in there with a liner. It just didn't last real long. So from that point, then it went to baptizing in the ocean, and the locals looking, what are these people doing out here with clothes on and dunking each other under the water? And so they didn't know what was going on, and then it wasn't long after that till there was a little, we call it a lean-to, that was off that building on the far side out there. And somehow, we got a swimming pool, an above-ground pool, and that was used for the baptistry. And that's where I was saved here, and that's where I was baptized. And that was one of the highlights of what happened here for me. But I remember as a kid being so moved that I volunteered to clean the baptistry every time it needed to be cleaned, snorkel and mask and swim. Great job, Dave. So anyhow, I've talked about that in Harvest Academy. Harvest Christian Academy is born, and so there was something else that Bruce did. He bought a couple of vans as things started going along, and he had a saying that he put on those vans, and they were VW vans, the old two-tone, the blue with the white top, and on the side of it, it said, "No place like this place, Harvest Baptist Church," and it had the phone number and address and all that. So that was the saying that he had on the bus, because he couldn't put the whole saying on the bus. The whole saying was, there's no place like this place, anywhere close to this place, so this must be the place. Not bad for a guy from Kentucky. But it was very exciting to be a part of the beginning of the church. And the other thing my father did was, we weren't blessed with people that came right off the bat. I mean, I looked up here, y'all had 6 guys playing the guitars tonight. And this is just Wednesday night. I know that's not your full musical ability. We didn't have anybody that could play anything but a radio. And that had static a lot of times. So my father said, "You 3 kids are taking piano lessons. We're going to have a piano player." "Oh, Dad, I'm an athlete. I love sports. That's for sissies." So he got us enrolled. My poor mother had to go listen to 30-minute lessons from 3 kids that had never played the piano. And the piano teacher was about 4 foot tall and about 4 foot wide. Her fingers were about like that long. And she had a violin bow. And she would sit over here on this side because she couldn't get on the bench with you. And so you'd play, and her piano was right here, and then there was a love seat and sofa, and right there was your mom and your 2 sisters. Well, she took that violin bow, and when you hit I have longer fingers, so I like to play octaves like that. She would smack my hand. "That's not the right way, it has to be like this." And I often thought, she's just jealous because she can barely reach it. But anyway, I'm hating every minute of it, and supposed to practice at least 30 minutes a day. Remember the old kitchen timers that you sit and you turn on and they tick, 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 tick? Well, my mother, "You're going to practice 30 minutes? "Yes, ma'am." And she'd go off and do something, and I'd reach over, turn it down, and I'd cut out 5 minutes or 10 minutes. "I did it, Mom." Real honest guy, just being honest with you all the time. I absolutely despised it, but I got in trouble with the piano teacher because she was a no-nonsense teacher. And she chewed me up one side, down the other, with my mother sitting right there. She didn't care. She said, "You're wasting my time and your parents' money." And she said, "You're on probation for 1 month. If you have a bad lesson, you're out of here. And nobody else in this island is going to take you if they know I fired you." I'm like, great. Awesome, this is an answered prayer. Only problem was I had to go back, and my mom said, "Bruce, I think David's going to quit." Rings don't quit. Oh no. Now I have no choice. I don't know. It was a different generation back then, but if he said that, that was gospel. So it's going to happen. So I had to change my attitude, and I learned how to play well enough to play in the church. Now I feel sorry for the guy who had to lead the singing, because here I am, a beginner, and he's having to listen to me, and I played chords. But God blessed, and God gave talent there that I didn't know was there, and it was God. And God allowed me to learn how to play well enough that we did that till the day we left. And my sisters played too, but my father always let me play because I was the oldest. So I enjoyed that sort of thing. after a while. It's all about your attitude. So while we were here also, we went through Typhoon Pamela. I know y'all had a whole lot of other ones since then, but for us in 1976, that was an experience that, as a kid, I was like, this is exciting to go through. Don't want any more. You can stand on and look out one side of your house, as y'all know, and you can watch the coconuts get launched like cannons, and like, that's really cool. And but we were without water for 9 weeks, I believe, and without power for 12 weeks. Different time back then. You know, wasn't all these concrete poles y'all have now. So they've learned a lot, and they've been able to weather a lot. And the typhoon boards that we had were not like your fancy louvers here. I saw those, man, that's nice. What ours were you just took and you had bolts that stuck out of your stucco concrete house, and you had a wing nut, and you had boards that were numbered, and you stuck them on there and winged it down. And when they let the typhoon, as kids, we used them for little, little ramps to jump our bikes like Evel Knievel back in the day. So that's the things I remember about that. But there's some other exciting things that happened. I told y'all that while I was here, accepting Christ was the highlight. And it's extremely exciting to see how many military families and service people came to know Christ at HBC while we were here, but also locals that came here. And, there were Americans that lived on the island, and one of those was none other than John Lewis. And John was one of the funniest guys, I believe, I knew on the island at the time. And I got to tell this because this lives in infamy between our families. He worked at the grocery store, he was a manager, and so we'd go in there quite often, and he'd see us, and he'd pick at us a little bit. So he said, "Hey, Miss Ann, how's it going?" "Going all right, but I just can't figure out what to get to make for Sunday after church for us to eat." He said, "Oh, I got the perfect recipe for you." He said, "We got corn skins on sale over here. He said, just get you a couple of those and get you a couple of the frozen orange juice, and you just stick that in a crock pot and put that frozen orange juice in there, and it's just amazing." He never cracked a smile, walked on. "See y'all later, everybody." My mom did it. Fed that mess to us. And, that's one of the worst meals I've ever had. And my mom can cook really good. That's the only time I will tell you that one was awful. But she told John, she said, "John, I can't believe you told me to do that." He said, "Do what?" "I did that orange juice thing." He said, "You did it?" I've told several people that you're the only one that's been crazy enough to try it. That's John Lewis. But anyhow, I wanted to tell y'all that, it's truly a blessing to come here. And my father's, he started this, God started, but my father was used to start this. And afterwards he went to Germany and started other churches and everything. And then started a real estate business when he came off the mission field that we currently still work in. And even though he made a lot more money doing real estate and all that, and helped us to create a good financial future for ourselves, that's part of his legacy. But this is probably the greatest part of my father's legacy. And another thing I want to say is this, that behind every good preachers get a lot of, you get a lot of criticism, but they get a lot of the praise and everything for things that happen. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of preachers that couldn't do what they do if they didn't have a good woman. My mom is the perfect example of the Proverbs 31 woman. She did a lot of things here that were behind the scenes, as do a lot of preachers' wives behind the scenes. And it's great that we honor our pastors, but we need to honor those women as well, because it's hard on a pastor to make it without support. And one memory I have from that old building I'll share with you is this. I was 14 years old, and we did the ACE program. You had paces and you worked at your own pace. You didn't go to a classroom like y'all do now. Well, I kind of knew some of the inside information because I found out where they stored the test at. That's pretty good information to know if you're going to take a test. So I snuck in there and saw the test. And so, we wore these little jackets. The old ones were orange and had Guam and a map and everything. It had this nice little tight wristband thing, So I got me some 3x5 cards and I wrote down some of the answers and I slid them up in there. Went to the table to take my test and I, ease them out, put them down between my legs and, be thinking, looking down, oh yeah, what the answer? Well, that was all working pretty good. I didn't do it till year. I was smart enough not to make 100 on the test. That's too obvious. But I was making good grades, cheating. And my mom came, and back then, if somebody was taking a test and another person took the same test, they had to move you. Well, everything was working okay till I had to get moved. And the cards are there, and it's like, what do I do now? Caught red-handed. So my father was on Barragata Heights. She called him. And he came over and he showed me what the Board of Education. And that was the last spanking I ever got. But I didn't cheat. It was something how that would change your thoughts on life. But I just want to say that it's such a great opportunity to share and see what God has done here, because it's all about what God has done. And what amazes me is how He has put people here. And like I said, the vision. My father could never have saw where this could go. I don't know that any of us can, because it was God's vision. And God's not done yet. He has more vision left. But I just want to wrap this up by saying this. There truly is no place like this place. Thank you. Sitting here, we were running a few minutes behind, but I was told that you're not late, you're just on island time. So we were on island time. But it was interesting as I was listening, a couple of different things. One is you mentioned protein, the youth group protein. Most people here don't have a clue what you were talking about. But I went through protein in Chattanooga, Tennessee, my 8th grade year after I left here. And they must not have had a real good youth group, because I actually won protein of the year that year. I was up for competitive stuff, and it was all about memorizing verses and different things, and we're going to give away a trophy. And I said, I want that. So it motivated me to do it. It was a great program. But the other interesting thing is the other pastor here, he mentioned about seeds. That's one of the things I want to talk about later on in this. But I thought I would share with you some of my experiences having to do with the islands. While we were here for 3 years, I had just turned 11 years old when we got here in May. And during the course of time, my father, you know, there's no place to go off this island without getting on a plane and going somewhere. So we were lucky enough to get to go to Saipan. And, you know, we thought, well, Guam is not quite like the States. And then we went to Saipan, and it's like, they don't even have McDonald's. We used to tote McDonald's burgers over there. Now I understand 50 years later they have McDonald's and stuff. We're going to be lucky enough to see that in a few days. We're going to go over there. But another place we went was to the Philippines. And back in the 70s in the Philippines, there were some missionaries over there. We went over there. It was the first time I'd ever slept under a mosquito net. Back then, if you had a camera, most of you don't know what a 35 millimeter camera is probably, but now you can take a picture on your phone. There was none of that back then. So my father had this camera, and you could have 2 of your family members here, and you get ready to take a picture, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was 20 kids in the picture. They thought it was the neatest thing in the world to get somebody to take their picture. So my father, being who he is, he was too cheap to buy a lot of film to take pictures. And I got thinking about, well, these kids are never going to see the film that's developed, but they want to be in the picture. So my father didn't even have any film in the camera. He'd just start clicking pictures. They thought they were getting a picture made. And the other thing I remember about the Philippines is my dad said we got to get a haircut while we're over there. Because my hair was getting a little long. You know, now would not have been acceptable back then, but he got a haircut. So I noticed that the guy cutting our hair, he reached down and grabbed a little small bit of my hair and stuck it in the little drawer. I guess to go back and show his family, I cut the strangest color of hair today. You've probably never seen red hair before. So that was one of my experiences from that. But then when we got ready to leave here, we went to some of the islands. And I don't remember every island we went to, but I'm sure it was most of the islands that y'all have mentioned. And what I remember was culture shock. Now, anything I say is not meant to say anything disrespectful to any islands. It's just my memories as a kid. I'd never seen anything like that. And let's just say that one of the first islands we went to was like stepping back into the National Geographic time. And I didn't realize that that still existed anywhere in the world. And it was a shock for me. It was kind of clothing optional, if you understand what I'm saying, on certain things. So that was a very strange thing for me to see. But there's some other things there that was kind of unique. I was always into the outdoors, playing sports. Before we came to Guam, I loved to fish and hunt a little bit. And so they said, we're going to go fishing. Hey, I'm in. Well, we get out there, and from what I remember, they didn't have a rod and reel. They had some kind of a rubber thing that went over your shoulder and just a line, and they put it in their hand. And I thought, how in the world? And I'm thinking, what if a big shark pulls on this line? It's going to jerk that guy in the water. So I watched, and sure enough, they were catching some nice fish. So we were having some fun. We were on this thing that's a little bit bigger than a bass boat, maybe. So we're on there, we're catching some fish, and it kind of gets to be lunchtime. And we're thinking, where's the coolers with the snacks and the drinks? So my father said something about, kind of getting a little hungry. What do y'all got for lunch? They just pulled the fish out, cut it. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm not hungry. So my father, he was brave. He tried it. He'd eat anything. He once ate a sandwich when he was farming and had ants on it because he was that hungry. But he wasn't going to miss a meal. So anyhow, I remember on that same boat, they took us up this channel. I do not remember the island, but they took us up this little channel. It seemed like it was a ways back in there. And all of a sudden they pulled over. You can't see anything except it's a jungle. And there's a trail. And we walked up this trail and come to this, what they said was a church. It was a flat thatch roof. They had sawed some logs into and set them on something for pews. There was a pulpit there that they had made out of some wood and tree. And I remember it was just flat like this, and it was dirt floor. And then there was this little area over here. And I remember they was going to start their service. And all of a sudden I think it was a woman, a pretty good sized woman got up, and the other people came up and they had their choir. Well, I'm going to tell you something, they didn't sound anything like what y'all sound like. Y'all sound great. 50 years ago when she started, they had no musical instrument, and I can't recreate the sound, but it was just this awful screech that she did to put them, quote, in tune to sing. Now, they were singing in a different language. I couldn't understand their language, but I could recognize the song. And I don't remember that song, but it was like a hymn or something, so I knew what they were trying to sing, but man, that was a different kind of harmony or lack thereof. There was a dog that was probably the most faithful member of that church. He came and he curled up right here. So my father, upon hearing this music, my father always wanted to sing. The problem was he wasn't very good at it. But he thought, if there's ever a place I can sing and they'll think it's good, it's here, because those people sure didn't sound good as I could sound. So he announced to people, hey, if everybody wants me to, I'm going to sing. Well, they're all excited. So my father stands up to sing a song, a cappella. He starts into it, and I promise you, as God is my witness, as soon as he started singing, the dog got up, walked about halfway down the aisle, stopped and howled, and left. And my father never sang again. At least where anybody could ever hear him. True story. I remember that at that same service, they said, we're going to have dinner, we're going to have lunch, so we're going to serve lunch after church. So they had this little thing off to the side, and my mom went back here. Well, they pulled out another raw fish. They're going to cut it up. My mom's like, oh boy, how are my kids going to eat this? And we were always taught, missionary kid, you better set the example, you better act right, you better sit up straight, you better pay attention, don't fall asleep, be courteous to everyone, be kind. And my mom's like, and the lady there that was the missionary said, don't worry, I have peanut butter for the kids. And my mom was like, I want to be a kid. So I remember that. And I remember my mom and my sisters were there, but my one sister, Jessica, the middle child, she's 3 years younger than me, she got sick on one of the islands. We think maybe it was truck. She got sick, got amoeba, and got so sick that my father said, well, you go on. We were going to tour all these islands on our way away from Guam, going back to the States. And so my mom and my sisters went on, and we met them later so she could get the medical attention, and I got to stick the trip out. But that was some exciting memories as a kid. I had no idea later on that the ministry at Harvest would start training people to go back, and I think that's unique. And that's what I want to tie in with seed that you talked about. So now I live in Mississippi on a farm, and God has blessed us, and we have about 540 acres on our farm. Now, when I say farm, you're thinking, well, they must raise corn and this and that. We don't. It's just recreational farm, what they call recreational farm. We hunt on it, we fish on it. And so one of the things we do, it's not something that most people in this culture and climate are used to. We actually have 4 seasons there. I think y'all only have 2. Monsoon, maybe 3. Monsoon, typhoon, and regular, right? So we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And in the fall, that word fall means a couple of different things to us in the area I'm at. It means cooler temperatures. It means leaves are going to start turning and falling off the trees. It means football. It means hunting season. And so that's the season that we like. I have a granddaughter, and I was so proud of her. She's fixing to turn 7. And last year in kindergarten, the teacher asked a serious question. Those of you that are going to be teachers, you'll probably never have this response where you're going to be. But the teacher said, who can name the seasons? So she was looking for spring, summer, fall, winter, right? My granddaughter raised her hand, deer season, and we hunt deer during the season. And so I'm proud, that's my girl right there. So anyhow, when deer season comes, we prepare for that. And how we prepare for that is, if you're doing regular farming, like he spoke of corn, you don't really have to do much. It's already there, because that's a farm crop, and the deer are going to come to that. But we don't have that on our farm, so we have to prepare. We have what's called food plots. It's where we put a deer stand and we put some stuff in the ground that's going to grow up that's going to attract the deer to come. Now, we do it for a couple reasons. One, we want to harvest some deer, but we also want to sustain the herd of deer and feed the ones that we're not going to kill all of them and harvest them. So my point to that is this: I have different sized food plots. Some are only a 1/4 acre. Some are maybe as much as 2 or 3 acres. And sometimes it's easy to get discouraged and say, well, I can't build something like Harvest. I can't build something this big. That's not necessary. Deer come to the little food plots too. The main thing is you prepare the ground, you sow the seed, and after that you can't really do much. You have to depend on God to send the rain and help stuff grow. And the Bible teaches us that we are to sow the seed. It didn't say you're responsible for what happens to those seed. You're just to keep sowing. And some seed are not going to come up, but a lot are. And it's a blessing to be here and see that the seed that was planted here 50 years ago has multiplied time and time again and gone to other parts of the earth to multiply. So my challenge would be, keep planting the seed, keep doing what you need to do, and don't worry about the size. It says in heaven they rejoice when one person gets saved and comes to the Lord. So don't get discouraged about numbers. If you're over there and you start something and it grows to 25 or it grows to 50, you have accomplished what God's work. Don't give up. Keep going, but don't be discouraged by numbers is my point. And I just really appreciate what y'all are doing and the fact that you're here and committed to this and you're working hard and that you're going to do a lot for Christ and you're going to pass it on to the next generation. Thank y'all for your time.
Okay, kids, right over there about where that little hut is and that just past this blue car is where the school building was when I went there. Now they have all these buildings and they have this big gymnasium we're fixing to go into, and they have this soccer field. We never had a soccer field. We didn't have anything like that. They're known as the Eagles. We didn't even have a name. So this is the Harvest Eagles. When I went here, there was probably about 35 to maybe 75 when we left. Look at all these kids coming over here for chapel. And that's right here. And they're still coming. It's gonna be over 1,000 people in here this morning. Amazing. Here's some more. There's some more down there that are still coming. Wow. To go from such few to this is a lot. Amazing. We got you on a cable car? Mom's riding a cable car. We're going to Yoki's Cave and Talifofo Falls. You excited about it?
Oh yeah.
This thing might move a little bit. Remember, don't change your seat. How about you? You happy about it?
I'm gonna be okay until we go over the edge, probably.
I think they last checked this 20 years ago.
You got a fan.
I've always wanted to have a fan.
It's kind of
I
scary.
have one fan.
It is kind of scary. Yeah. I've never been in a cable car this crazy.
Ah, it's got flowers all decorated all over. Oh, Mom, don't look down. You're scared of heights. It's going to be tough. Just think. If it snaps, we'll just land on the ground. What's that noise? That's not normal. Look, there's a net. The net is there to catch you. Look, if you fall, there's a net.
Oh my, yeah.
Safety net.
Boing.
Yeah.
Boing. It's a
This is
trampoline
great.
net.
This is great. What do you have to worry about? You know, that's underneath the zip line course. See the zip line?
Dump outside, please. What does that mean? Oh, do not change seat and dump outside.
I guess you dump outside. What does that mean?
I don't know. I know what it means in my mind, but
We'll picture that.
all right.
By the sun each morning, put my feet on a hardwood floor. I get to hear my children laughing down the hall through the bedroom door. Sometimes I sit on my front porch swing, just soaking up the day. I think to myself, this world is a beautiful place. I have been blessed, and I feel like I found my way. I thank God for all I've been given. At the end of every day, I have been blessed with so much more than I deserve. To be here with the ones who love me, to love them so much it hurts. I have been blessed. Across a crowded room, I know you know what I'm thinking. By the way I look at you, and when we're lying in the quiet, no words have to be said. I think to myself, this love is a beautiful gift. I have been blessed, and I feel like I found my way. I thank God for all I've been given. At the end of every day, I have been blessed with so much more than I deserve. To be here with the ones who love me, to love them so much it hurts. I have been blessed. When I'm singing my kids to sleep, when I feel you holding me, I know I am so blessed, and I feel like I found my way. I thank God for all I've been given. At the end of every day, I have been blessed with so much more than I deserve.
Days like these are worth more than gold, but they can't be bought and they can't be sold. On days like these, when the sun shines bright, I feel like it's all gonna be alright. When the sky is blue and the grass is green, how much better can it be? If I got you and you got me, we got everything we need. And even if it grew on trees, well, money came by days like these. They don't come around as much as they ought to, so soak 'em up when they do. Those days like these, they don't get forgot. And if you think it through, they're all we got. When the sky is blue and the grass is green, how much better can it be? If I got you and you got me, we got everything we need. 'Cause even if it grew on trees, money came by days like these. When the sky is blue and the grass is green, how much better can it be? If I got you and you got me, then we got everything we need. Yeah, even if it grew on trees, well, I'd probably miss the leaves. No, money came by days like these. Money came by days like these.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry, be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile. But don't worry, be happy. 'Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, don't do it. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this. Don't worry. It will soon pass, whatever it is. Don't worry, be happy.
I'm not sure if this is it for sure, but I think it is. This is a big casino that was a total flop. They spent all this money, and when you go around to the back side of it, the windows are all broke out. You can see up there how some of that's gone. But rumor has it Japanese investors invested in this, and then it got corrupt. The governor here was in with some of the Russians and Chinese and the mafia, and actually scammed money, and this thing went under. And he mysteriously died of a heart attack while eating some snack, like a snack mixture, or trail mix or something. So they suspected he was killed, aka heart attack. Just crazy on this little island. Sam, I'm doing this for you because you're the one with the sense of adventure. I know Lisa would be sitting down here, but I'm going all the way up them steps into that, which is the last command post. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did this the other day, and Marilee started the video and didn't tell me that her phone was on such a low charge, and so it died and we didn't get any of it. So I'm having to do this twice, but it's important enough for me to show you that I'm like you, adventurous, and I'm going all the way up there. So I'm doing it for the second time, but this time we're getting it on video, while the others are kind of too chicken to go. But I'm trying to twist their arm. Maybe I can take them a different route. But here goes Daddy-O, straight up like we did to see the monkey rock, monkey face, whatever it was called in Lake Tahoe. But keeping it alive, Sambo, just for you. Here we go.
Oh my stars. He loves some of Sammy.
Yay!
For Sambo. This is pretty unique. I came up these steps that are over here. Bunch of steps right here. Sam, I came up these steps, nobody else would do it. I came up here and look at this rock overhang, and then here's this. And look when you go in here. It opens up in here. It opens up in here. Looks like it has mortar shots that blew it out. But this is pretty cool. And some other people down there were too chicken to come. See, they were too chicken to come up here. So they missed out on the whole deal.
Wait, I'm here.
Sam, I got these two to walk uphill from there to here. This is like baby steps, Sam. But I got it done. Again, Sam, I'm going to be the guinea pig to go down there because the others don't want to go. Here I go.
Your adventure-seeking dad is missing your presence, Sam. My job and Mama's job is to document his adventure-seeking days. So we're doing our part, and you know, he's going to do his part. Okay, we're coming.
Look, Sam, I talked them into it. They're coming down here. I'm trying to get them over the edge. I shouldn't say that. They don't want to go over this edge. But anyhow, they're on their way. Come on. Hey, coming down's the easy part.
That's exactly what we just talked about.
Yeah, but now you're stuck.
Don't go over the rail.
No, come on.
Where's the sign for the sharks?
There's no sign for the sharks. Hey, this is known as Bird Island. This is up here, not too far from Suicide Hill. But you got the waves crashing in down there. And then, as you look out, beautiful ocean. Once you step around this bush right here, you got more real pretty waves crashing in right here. Beautiful everywhere on this island. This is our last morning in Saipan. We leave out in a few hours, so we want to come down to the beach. We want to get in the water, but it's a little bit low tide and a little bit mossy there on the bottom. But it's real early morning. Sun hasn't really come up yet, but part of it's due to the rain. It's actually raining. But this was unique. We came here, and when the tide was up, you can't see this, but there's a tank in the water, and I believe there's another tank in the water out there. We thought it was a boat at first, but it's a tank. But here's a beautiful, beautiful sandy beach. It's white sand, and just trying to take it in a little bit. Mimi has for sure said that she wants to definitely come back to Saipan. Not that she has anything against Guam, but she really, really likes Saipan. How many days you want to come back to Saipan, baby?
Well, you know, maybe like a week. We could just lay on the beach. I mean, it's very relaxing. It could be a corporate, you know, retreat or something.
It is a U.S. It's not a U.S. territory, but it is in the control of the U.S.
It is incredibly beautiful here on the beaches and the water. Prettiest water I've ever seen.
Nice.
So nice.